Alright, we are going to algebraically, mathematically on our paper now, look at solving our equations and our inequalities. I have up here this inequality rule that we have to remember when working with inequalities specifically is we are going to flip that inequality symbol when you divide or multiply by a negative number. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's going to make a difference with our answer. Alright, let's look at some simple one-step equations and inequalities. So one step means there's literally one thing to do to solve for our variable. So remember, that's what I'm wanting to do. I want to know what is m if we have added 12 to it and it equaling 10. So I'm going to draw my wall at my equal sign, and I always take care of anything added or subtracted first and then multiply and divide, and I always want to do inverse operations. So we are adding 12, so I'm going to subtract 12. Remember, whatever I do on one side of my wall, I got to do on the other side. So what we're left with then, my m comes down. Positive 12 minus 12 is 0, so I have no more numbers over here. 10 minus 12 is negative 2. You can check your answer by plugging it in. So negative 2 plus 12 equals 10. Negative 2 plus 12 equals 10. Yes, it does. So that checks out. That's right. Alright, so one step is as simple as that. We solve our inequalities the same exact way. I'm drawing my wall, and if it's one step, we've got g, and the thing that's added or subtracted to it, we got a minus 9. So I'm going to add 9 to this side, add 9. And we've got negative 2 plus 9, that's a positive 7. We bring down my variable of g. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0. So our answer here is 7 is greater than or equal to g. One-step equations, simple enough. Alright, two-step equations, you can see, or inequalities. Now what's happening to x? First it's being multiplied by something and then added to get this number. So we've got two things happening to x, so we're going to need to do two things. So the first thing is undo our addition or subtraction first, and then undo the division or multiplication. So it's opposite of PEMDAS, working backwards. So I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw my wall here. So we're going to take care of what is being added or subtracted first. So right here we've got add 8, so I'm going to do the opposite operation on both sides and bring down, we got 6x. Positive 8 minus 8 is 0. 50 minus 8 is 42. Now I need to take care of the division and multiplication. So right now, whenever my number is next to that variable, it's multiplication. So I do the opposite, which is division. So I'm going to divide this by 6, divide this by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So then I'm just left with that x. 42 divided by 6, I believe, is 7. So again, to check this, I would put my 7 in for my x. So 6 times 7 plus 8 equals 50. Does that equal 50? Yes, it does. Alright, this inequality, same steps. starting with what's being added or subtracted first. So this is being subtracted, so we're going to add to both sides. And I am left with, on this side, 2n. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0, greater than 11 plus 5 is 16. So now dealing with the division or multiplication, again, this number in front right here means it's being multiplied, so I'm going to divide. N is greater than 8. Okay, let's look at number 5. We've got an inequality. I'm going to draw my wall, added or subtracted first. We're adding 9, so I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. 13 minus 9 is 4, less than negative 4k. Division or multiplication next. I'm going to divide both by that negative 4. 4 divided by negative 4 is negative 1. Because I divided, that's where this rule comes into play. I divided by negative 4. Now I flip my sign. Negative 1 is greater than k. Alright, final 2-step. We've got a fraction. Love those fractions. Alright, 7 minus 2 over 3y equals 34. So this is what's being added or subtracted first. This is still being multiplied by that y. So we got a positive 7, so that means we're adding 7. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. Okay, so 7 minus 7 is 0. We got negative 2/3 y equals 27. Oh, very nice. Okay. Hold on. So when we have a fraction next to our variable like this, the easiest way to get rid of it is to multiply by its inverse. So I just flipped the fraction. So then in that case, I would be left with y equals, and then I would come to my calculator. I would say 27 times negative 3 divided by that 2. And you can write it as this fraction. I'm going to write it as both. Negative 81 over 2, or roughly negative 20.25.